In this video, we're going to go over some classic compound inequality word problems. The name of the game is to translate as you read and keep things as simple as possible. Let's do it. So we've got this giant paragraph behind you, but it's not so bad, I promise. It says, to earn a test average of an A-, you must average between, there's a keyword right there, between 89.5 and a 92.5 inclusive. So right away, I'm going to write that out. So I'm going to write that out as like test average. So I'll write that AVG, and it's between, so we got a lower value of 89.5, and we said inclusive, which is why I'm writing or equal to. So it's between 89.5 and 92.5. So that whole first sentence just got translated into this. So don't wait to read the entire word problem and then say, well, this is the kind of problem where I do this. Translate it. The words will make the math come alive. So great, so we've translated as we've read, we're feeling a little better, we're done with that sentence, we don't need to reread it. Here's that sentence. You have earned scores of 89, 94, and 88 on the first three tests. Okay. What possible scores can you earn on the fourth test to ensure a test average of an A-? Well, let's think about what an average is. An average is where you add up all the things that you're calculating, all the data, and then divide by the number of things that you have. So in this case, we have four tests. We have an 89, a 94, an 88, and an unknown fourth test we'll call X. So X will be our test score. So X will be fourth test score. So we're going to use this basic foundation here and find the average and put it in between the 89.5 and the 92.5. So I'll draw an arrow over here. So you've got 89.5 is less than or equal to the average. Again, that's adding up all the numbers. 89 plus 94 plus 88 plus the unknown test score of X. And if we're finding the average, we're going to divide all those numbers by 4, and then that needs to be between 89.5 and 92.5. It's actually a useful word problem you can use to calculate in your grades, believe it or not. So now that we've made the translation from our word problem, we have this to solve. All we have to do to solve it is just recognize that it's a normal compound inequality to solve. We've done the word problem part. Again, as a reminder, when you're doing word problems, translate the word problems. If you're given 3 or 4 of these problems to practice, get to this part here 3 or 4 times in a row, because that's the hard part. Get good at the translations, then rock and roll on the algebra, which I'm about to show you. Okay, so now from here, I'm going to simply combine all the like terms that we have. So I have 89.5. is less than or equal to, and I'm going to add 89, 94, and 88. So that ends up simplifying to 271 plus x over 4, and that's going to be less than or equal to 92.5. Sweet. Now from here, I'm going to flip over to this side. All we have to do is multiply both sides by 4, right? We're going to isolate x, so I multiply this side by 4, I multiply this by 4, and this by 4. And that gets rid of the 4's here. 4 times 89.5, I have it written off on the side of the board here, is 358. And you get 271 plus x, which is less than or equal to 4 times 92.5. I have it written where you can't see it is 370. From here, we're just going to subtract 271. Again, we're just solving a compound inequality, making sure to do the same thing to both sides of the inequality to keep everything balanced. 358 minus 271 is 87. The 271's cancel, leaving us with x, and that's less than or equal to 370 minus 271 is 99. So to average an A-, you have to earn between an 87 and 99 inclusive. Again, practice with the setup, reading and translating as you read. It should not be one of those problems where you look at, nor should any math problem be, where you look at it and say, oh, this is what I did. This is what the teacher did, and I just copied the steps. There's no growth in that. The challenge is in understanding it well and translating it. It makes math easier in the long run. Go rock some more.